Are you trading with VWAP or anchored VWAP and not getting consistent results? Then this video will help you. I'll show you how to combine VWAP and volume profile together to create strong trading combos that will reveal clean and reliable support and resistance zones. This will not only increase your win rate, but also to improve your trading consistency, which I think is also very, very important. So let's get to it. VWAP represents the trading position of an average trader, and many market participants use it as a reference point for their trade entries. Now imagine you want to enter a short trade on this chart here. Price is dropping, you want to enter a short trade. So where is the best place to enter the short position? It's not wise to enter randomly or at the current daily low, but the logical entry point is where the average market participant sold. You want to sell for a fair value, not at daily low, but at fair value, which is represented by VWAP. In this chart, that's the blue line. So when the price makes pullback to VWAP, this is where you want to sell, because this is the fair price. Now, if an institutional algorithm is trading, then the goal for the day could be, for example, sell X amount of lots on euro-dollar at VWAP or better. In this case, better means here, right? That's how it could look like for an institutional algorithm. Sell at VWAP or better. So in this picture, you see the price dropping below the VWAP, then making pullback to it, and sellers selling for the fair price, for the average price here, and then triggers that sell-off, right? So general strategy for a short trade is wait until the price is below VWAP, wait for the pullback to VWAP, and short from there. That's the general strategy for a short trade. Now, for a long trade scenario, it's the same, only reversed. If the price is above VWAP, like for example here, that means buyers are in control, and it comes back to VWAP line, then you want to enter long from VWAP. That's the most basic way how to trade with VWAP. Personally, I like to see a bit more before making a trade. I want to see some confirmation or a combo of multiple strategies. So now I'll talk about the combos. Combos is where more independent setups point to one strong support or resistance zone, right? So far we've covered some simple VWAP setups, which are solely based on VWAP, and those tend to give good results. However, those are relatively simple, right? And they may not always produce consistent results. But if you want consistency and better win rate here, you want to use those combos. I personally see combos for all my trades. If I can find any kind of combo, I try my best to find combos for all my trades. I would say maybe 80 or 90% of all my trades are based on combos, right? Now, in here, we'll cover combos of VWAP and price action and volume profile. So let me show you on a couple of examples here. This is S&P 500 5-minute chart. This is daily VWAP here, anchored to the start of the day. This is when the rollover is, right? This is the start of the Asian session. I know that some of you guys asked in the chat, so that's where the Asian session starts. That's what I count as the start of the day. So here is where the price is moving way below the VWAP and makes pullback to the VWAP. And normally, if you are trading just based on the VWAP strategy which I showed you, you would just go short from there without any other thoughts. But since we are talking about combos, let me show you a combo here. So notice how the price was reacting here in the past. This means that this zone in the past worked as a support until this point where the support got breached and the support became a resistance. I really like this setup, you guys know it, right? This is old price action setup. It's not mine, but I really like to combine it with my other trading setups, like this one, like the VWAP setup. So in this case, as you can see, the price action resistance is very close to that VWAP resistance, which is in here. Not exactly to the point at this place, but very close. Resistances and supports, they are not like exact places, they are zones. If those meet in this general area, if they are close, then I count it as a valid combo and I trade from there, because combos have way better win rate. All right, so this is a combo of price action setup and VWAP. Now in here we have a triple combo actually. This is a combo of price action setup, volume profile setup, and VWAP setup. So let's start with the VWAP setup here. If you look at volume profile, it shows heavy volumes here in this rotation. And this is where you anchor the VWAP at the start of the trend. And this is where the price gets very, very close to the VWAP. Now, let's take a look here. You see this important swing high, this pin bar. This shows that in the past, this worked as a strong resistance, right? Because the price was reacting very sharply to this place, very strongly. Here, the resistance got breached and it became a support very close to the VWAP. But that's not all. Let me change the color of the marker here. If you look at the volume profile, there's this volume bump. I like to trade from beginnings of those volume bumps, like in here. By the way, those volumes were traded in this place, right? And this is where those volumes get tested for the first time. So we have volume profile set up here. We have price action set up here. We also have VWAP set up here. All pointing to this place. And that's the combo. That's what it's telling you. It's shouting at you to go long from there. All right. Now, what I do is I trade from the first barrier of that combo. In this case, it's from here. Right? Not from, let's say, from the VWAP. I trade from the first barrier because I don't want to miss the trade entry. So if I were trading based only on VWAP, I would miss the trade entry right here. I would miss it. So that's why I trade from the first barrier. All right, next example. This is Bitcoin. Long rotation. Oh, and it is a daily chart. It is example back from the old days when Bitcoin was under 20K. Not so long ago. Anyways, we have a rotation with heavy volumes here, followed by a strong trend. And if we start with the VWAP, then it's anchored to this candle I counted this as the start of the trend. It could as well be anchored to this candle, but I anchored it here. And this is where the price made pullback to it. Right, so this is the VWAP setup. Now, let's talk about volume profile here. I like to use volume profile over trend areas like this and look for significant volume clusters within the trends, like this volume cluster. And as I was saying, I like to trade from the beginnings of those heavy volume zones. See, it aligns very nicely with VWAP. So we have nice two setup combo here. By the way, if you look closely here, there's also this little reaction, which means there was a resistance in the past. Let me try and draw a straight line here. And this resistance turned into a support when the price breached that resistance. Support. Right, so actually this is another factor that adds strength to that level. That's exactly what you want to see. When the market gives you such a combo, then you just trade it. No need for any sort of confirmation, just jump in and go long. Now here is the last example of the combos. This is Procter & Gamble Company 5-minute chart. In here I have two VWAPs. One is anchored to this swing low, right here. This is where it's anchored. The second VWAP is anchored after the gap, after this gap. By the way, this is also another way where you can anchor the VWAP, especially if you trade stocks after gaps, because for stock traders, gaps are really important places. So we have those two anchored VWAPs. And if you see, if you look here, they sort of make like a support zone. Also, let's take a look at this volume profile here, specifically into this zone, which points, let me change the color here, it points to the same place as those two anchored VWAPs. So all those are giving you the signal to go long from there. All right, so this is how you can use the combos that are really powerful.